I didn't know what I was expecting. No expectations, no disappointments was my motto as I began training to enter high schools all across Canada. The first few weeks in Hamilton were busy as I crammed to perfect my story, where I'd be standing in front of more students in one school than there is people in my entire town. Nervous would be an understatement. When the day came where we entered our first school, and it was time for me to tell the story of this small town girl and her amazing best friend Jeanette, I was shaking in my boots. Literally, I was wearing my super awesome cowboy boots that just made it that more obvious to all the students that I did not belong in their Toronto school. But once the show got started and the band began blasting their catchy tunes, I felt more alive than I ever have before. Kids got out of their seats and started dancing in the aisles and screaming over the Tetris-loving, down-to-earth, goofy guys who I just knew as my teammates. Seeing the reaction the kids had to the band made me motivated and full of energy to tell my story. And I nailed it! As I stood in the middle of the stage and looked at the 300 eager eyes beaming back at me, I flashed back to when I was sitting in the audience, watching my first Live Different presentation, and how inspired I felt after. And that was all I needed to shake off all my nerves and tell the audience how my best friend, who had cerebral palsy and epilepsy, was able to change my life. As I spoke the words I had recited over and over again, I spotted the people in the crowd who also had disabilities, and pretended I was talking to them, one-on-one. I watched their faces change from laughter due to my corny jokes, sincerity, as I poured my heart out. Then, my favorite look, realization. That they were just like me. That they were not the only ones feeling this way. After the show was always the best part, when I got to interact with the people who were once just a face in the crowd, but were suddenly transformed into people who instantly felt like friends. And the feeling I get after a student tells me about their problems is probably the greatest feeling in the world. And it gives me an all-time high for the rest of the day, which makes tearing down the set so much more fun. I don't think I could ever write enough blogs or take enough pictures to express how amazing this experience is. The people I'm traveling with are honestly the greatest people ever. And even though I just met most of them less than a month ago, I feel like I've known them forever.